5:30, got woken up by lots of noises. You can clearly hear people spilling out on the street, talking very, very loudly, screaming, yelling. I thought to myself, another bunch of people have just spilled out from some restaurant somewhere and then drinking and talking very loudly. I hope they move off soon. They didn't, were yakking and talking there loudly, yelling, for roughly about 10 minutes. Sounds quietened a little bit. Then cars started up, which have modified exhaust because the sound from that was very loud. You can hear the popping of sounds as well. I said, okay, I hope they have moved off. They didn't. It moved off, came back, and then there were no loud shouting or cheering anymore, but it's just another round of very loud noise as the car rev off again. I say, this is getting irritating. Shall I call the police? Then, as I was debating with myself, third series of sound, very loud one, and revved off again. So after the second sort of a series of loud noises and car revving up, I say, I'm getting very irritated. Shall I call the police and report them? Just as I was debating with myself, third series of sound, car revving up, but this time, quick rev, big sound of a crash. I said, oh, that's different. Just as I was thinking, wife came over. Do you hear that? There's a big crash. There's a fire out in the window. I did, woke up, jumped, looked, the fire was on, already building up. So I kicked my son, who was sleeping, and I said, hey, wake up, please call SCDF. He's SCDF, right? And he did. About, I think under a minute, call was taken. And obviously, there had been earlier calls as well. Done that, so me and my boy came down, walked fast, we didn't run. By then, I saw other neighbors coming down. I mean, there are 2 blocks of flat here, walking towards the accident scene. You can see the fire from, the middle of the road. See the fire, see the flame, and could hear the popping sounds of explosion, small explosion. Being a CDF boy, don't go near exploding sounds and fire, bad mix. So we were on the opposite side, looking as the flame and the engine were obviously there already, and hose were being poked up and doused. So while that was happening, I saw a young man screaming on the side, and my friends are inside there, my friends are inside there. He was quite hysterical, held back by I think the police had just arrived at that point, a couple of them, and he was already quite screaming and quite agitated. Then I moved further down, and then I saw another lady. It was a lady on the side leaning against the shop house, one of the Korean restaurants there. I can see that he was quite badly hurt. Can't tell much because it was in the shadow, but can see bloodied arms and bloodied legs. And he was just lying there, stunned. And then at that point, saw 2 other girls very agitated and at the same time walking around. So there was and yet at the same time, I can see the fire being put out. You can see that the car has crashed right into the shop because it smacked right into the shutter of the shop house, which was empty at that point. But by then the flame was already raging and there were sounds popping. But it was put out quite quickly. Things settled down, and then just more people arriving, including one of the lady who owns Korean lady who owns a couple of restaurants around here. She obviously knew the boy who was very hysterical. He was sort of trying to comfort him, holding him, etc. as well.